Welcome to Double Encrypted Minesweeper. But wait, let's talk about regular Minesweeper and Encrypted Minesweeper first, just to get up to speed. In normal Minesweeper, clues refer to the number of mines in the adjacent squares. For example, this one sees these adjacent squares, and you can do logic like there must be a maximum of one mine in here, and this says 3. It only sees 2 other cells, so they must both be mines, and the remaining mine is within there, so we can clear out those. In Encrypted Minesweeper, all these letters correspond to numbers, but you don't know what letter corresponds to which number. There's also a board on the side that lets you mark the different options. For example, this B only sees 2 other squares, so B can't be 3 or 4, because this B doesn't even fit 3 or 4 mines, so we would mark those as X's. And here's double encrypted, where one of the letters refers to the diagonally adjacent, and the other one refers to the directly adjacent, but you do not know which one it is. They are not ordered, so it could be the other way around. So let's get started. So this EE, it's either 1 or 0, so we can mark all those off. It's either that there's 0 mines here, or there's 1 mine in the directly and then diagonally adjacent. We can also see that this AB sees everything the EE does, but some extra cells. So A and B are both higher than E, and so they can't be 0. Also, C cannot be 3, because even if C, like the max C can be is 2, if 2 flags are here and the C is referring to the directly adjacent. So it can't be this, or a 3 or 4. But the same logic, A cannot be 4 either, since the max A can see is 3 flags here. Actually, is it true to say that A, B has to have all these as flags? It is true. The reason is because one of the E's needs to go to A, and one of the E's needs to go to B. It doesn't matter which, we just know that they have to increase in value and increase by a different amount. If they both increased by 1, we would get AA or BB. So they had to increase by different amounts. That's why we needed to have +1, +2 in the new cells that the AB saw, and that's the only way, is to fill them all up. Actually, B can't be 4 either. B could only be maximum of 3, because this is not a mine. Okay, so B is not 4. That means D is 4, and that actually completes D. Although you don't get to see because there's no Ds on the board. So from here, we know E is 0 or 1, and A, whichever one of it doesn't matter for this, because I actually used a variant of this logic in normal encrypted mode, which of course I did a video on, of course. Basically, whatever E is, we know that one of A or B is higher than that. Basically, I can tell you that C can't be 1 or 2, because they need to be occupied. Because either E is 0, and then something is 1, something is 2, or E is 1, something is 2, something is 3, but in either case, 1 and 2 get occupied, so C can only be 0. This also leaves only one possibility for E. So fill that in, and now we know. Okay, so this gives us the 1, 1 already. We now know that the 0 refers to the diagonally adjacent, and this 1 is the directly adjacent, so we can clear that as well. We already know that this is where the diagonally adjacent mine is, so that's clear, and this is a mine. For over here, we know there is 1 mine in this region in total, because if you just sum the numbers, you can tell there's only 1 mine in here. The minimum A can be is 2, so this number is either 3 or 4. But there's no way to fit 4 mines, because we already know there's only 1 mine here. So mine, and A is 2. Of course, B is 3, and now we can solve this as a relatively normal puzzle. Here, the diagonally adjacent is the only one that's capable of being the 1. So there's 1 mine here, meaning that the rest of the 2 are empty. We know that the gray is the thing that needs to be the 3, because the gray can't be the 1. We already have 2 flags here. So there's that, and then the 1 refers to directly adjacent. We can clear those. This is the mine now. There's no mines left. The next level introduces these cursed clue types. Each clue is actually looking at the 3x3 area centered above it. And any of these numbers could also be a liar, which means that's 1 off of its true value. Like this 3, okay, this 3 definitely can't be right. The 3 can only be holding 2 mines, so this is a liar, and it's actually a 2. Now, only 1 liar can be in each row and column, so this 4 is now real. It does actually, it is an actual 4. Now, this 2 and this 1 can't be both telling the truth, because this 2 is already satisfied with the 2 mines above it, but this 1 is not satisfied. So look at this. I know the liar is either this or this, and liars can't have another liar in the same row or column. So if you look at these squares, where they intersect in particular, whichever one is the liar, it prevents both of these squares from being a liar, because they share a row with one and a column with another. So let's mark these. And this also means that now that we don't see a liar in this row, it must be that this is the liar now. Of course, this is actually a 0. Now, this didn't prevent the case where both of them were lying. So that one being a liar means this 3 is real now, so we can mark all those as mines. Or this 2 is definitely lying now because it sees 3 mines. So let's mark it. Those are also, of course, that's the max the liar could be, so those are empty. This 4 is real, so mark the remaining spot as a mine. This 3 is real, so this is empty. There's not been a liar clue yet in this row, so we actually have to mark it as 1, which reveals this clue. There's also one here, which is a lying 3. It's actually a 2, so... Okay, we have 2 mines remaining. This could either be a 2 or a 4, but we have 2 mines remaining, so they must actually be mines. We can't have any space to fit 2 other mines elsewhere, so there it is. Okay, I click next level, and I don't even know what I'm looking at. 2L liar plus 2M modulo. Okay, hold on. I'll explain this better later on. Okay, I think I get it. Wow, the real liar is me for not showing you all of this UI. Okay, I guess I'll explain it like this. In modulo, the clues are that the clues above 3 are 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So you can't distinguish 0 and 3 because they will both appear to be a 0. So it changes the appearance of all the numbers. The part where the liar is relevant is that 1 is special and 1 can be either 0 or 2, but the other numbers can only lie to be a 1. So 1 is special here. Okay, so let's start. This 2 is already suspicious. This can never be a 2. And a lying 2 can only be down to a 1. So this is a mine, and this is a liar. 0 is now real, and we can mark those... Yeah, kind of thought those would be empty. The 0 is only real in terms of, like, that it's not lying, but the modulo effect is still happening because that 0 is actually a 3. Because again, 0, 3, and 6 all look like a 0. It's just not lying. God, this terminology is confusing. We got a lot of potential lines, like this 1, 2, and this 1, 2 are suspicious. There's most definitely something wrong going on because when you do 1 to a 2, usually that means there should only be 1 mine extra that the 2 sees, but this is not the case for either of them. I kind of want to make sure my intuition exactly right here, because I think the only way this works is if it's a 0, 2, because like a 1, 3 is not valid. So, yes? Yes, okay, my intuition was right. So all of a sudden this makes this 2 real, so we can make all these empty? Wait. Man, I'm so glad they let you do this. Like this is not empty. This has 3 cells in it, so they could either be all mines or all nothing. This one's gotta be real, though. But again, it's a modulo, so it's actually a 4, since it can't be 1, because we already have too many mines on, so that's on. And because that's on, these are also mines, because we said they're either all mines or all not. And I feel like this 1 could be anything. That's actually true that it could be anything. Because that, being a modulo, can naturally be either 1 or 4, and then the liar allows it to be either 0 or 2, and but the 4 could also be a 3 or a 5, so these freaking potential liar modulos could be anything. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have, like... I don't think this can be empty, but I'm not sure, and I want to kind of see this. Okay. So also the hint system in this game is very good. Like, it even highlights the relevant rule and spaces and clues. My idea was using the mine count, kind of involved a lot of steps. So what's wrong here? Ah, it's way simpler. Okay, look. This is a liar. Just that. That would mean that this is a non-mine, because liars need to have non-mines, and this would be telling the truth. But how could this ever be telling the truth now? Because this one is modulo to be a 4, because it can't be a 1. And yet, since this is a non-mine, we can't even make 4 mines around the 1 anymore. So in fact, that cannot be a liar. Therefore, this is the liar. And that also opens up this spot. This 1 is real now. We can empty out that cell. This means I need 1 mine here, because it could be 2. Oh, God. Actually, isn't this, I think these all need to be flags. Because if they're not all flags, then don't have enough mines. We have 4 mines left. Like, we don't have 4 mines in the remainder. These are all flags. We have 1 mine left. This one is a liar, and adding this one would make it not a liar anymore, which is not true, so blank that. This 1 needs to be real, so flag that, and we're done. Since the last cell needs to be empty. The next one is area plus encryption. I'm putting up the area tutorial right here. Basically, it sums up the region sizes of the mine regions in the 4 adjacent squares of every single clue. I did the normal area version of this in the prequel of this video, but of course now it's encrypted, but remember that the area rule is still taking effect here. So I can tell that this B is looking here and here. We also have this B, which is looking in those same locations plus these 2, but those 2 can't contribute to the total at all. Otherwise, those would be different letters, so these are empty. That F is now surrounded by no mines in any of the 4 directly adjacent cells, so F is 0. Why do I misclick like this? Okay, F is 0. We got a C. Now, C is not 0, and so it must extend outwards. It's at least 1, so mark that as a mine. Huh, there's something you can do from here? I suppose B can't be any higher than 2, because, like, the most it could ever be is 2 down here. So... They're not 3, 4, 5. They also have a relationship between E and C here. Since E connects to C if it ever goes up here, it seems like E is equal to C. Well, it can't actually be equal to C. So wait, the thing is, it could just ignore that and not go there. That's another possibility. And then maybe something like that is true. Wait, hold on. If C is 1 and it stops right there, that would mean there's non-mines around here because it has to be 1 size. Then E can't be 0 because F is already 0, but it can't be 1 because C is already 1. And each letter corresponds uniquely. So C is not 1. So it extends afterwards. Is it true that if I do this, then B would have to equal C? I think so, and that would not be good. It would also overload. If B was... If I made this a mine, B can't be 0, so we need to extend, then touch this, and not only would it equal C, but it would overload and be higher than 2. So, empty, your E, well, that definitely makes E higher than B for sure, because it sees everything that B does, plus some more. C is also not equal to 1, so we're adding even more than 1 to E, so E can't be 2 either. Since E can't be a low number, this E needs to connect up. Now, B is only 1 or 2, so it can't connect here, so that means it needs to be empty. B still needs a value, so it needs to extend here. Alright, so now, can this E, like, we have an E here and an E here. They need to be equal, but this mine can't be shared by this bottom E. Like, it doesn't, like, if I do this, that'd be 6 mines, and we don't have an E equals 6 row. So therefore, this needs to be a mine. To make sure that each of them have an extra mine besides the region they're sharing. That also would suggest that we're not adding another thing there, because that needs to be 1. Like, that needs to be 1 to correspond to the other one being 1. So, block it off, and now B is definitely 1. We can open this. D needs to extend. D is at least 2. C needs to be different than D. If this is a non-mine, then C and D are equal, which is not allowed, so this needs to be a mine. It also shows that C is higher than D, so then not 2. So D can extend, like, over here, but this D cannot match up with this, because that would make C and D equal again, so this also, it shows that E is 1 higher than C, so not that. This also shows that it's either here or here. In both cases, we have a 4, which means the other 2 in the same row cannot be 4. This C5 is also not possible. C is also 1 higher than... Well, could it be 2 higher than D? Well, I mean... Okay, so E is at least 4, so we can extend this. However, if I put a mine here, that would overload it. That would only overload the 5 potential, and it could maybe stay at 4. Actually, C connects up here, and there's no way that C can connect and make this massive mine region, so... block it off. So this confirms that C is 1 higher than D. And that only shows that D is not 5 and A is not 3. Because D can't be that super high number. One other question is whether this E, like, creates its new region over here or connects to the already shared region with the other E's. We do have 6 mines remaining. Okay, actually, yeah, because D is not 4 or 5. This can't happen. Because this D and this D need to be equal. So if I did that, suddenly this mine would make a difference between the two Ds that would need to be repaired. But then repairing this makes D equal to 4, which is too much. So that's clear. 1. Well, the only way to make 1 is here and not connect over here, which locks D into being 2. Alright, we've cleared that. That's the 4. This is a 1. We need to open that up. This means A is 5, but we've not seen a 5. Okay, what is this joke final step? I think it's like boop, 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 boop. Those 2 mines have to be entirely separate from the 4 region and not touch them. Alright, cool. The next one I'm doing is connected, which is that all the mine regions have to be rectangular, which could also include 1x1s and 2x1s, and they're diagonally connected, these regions, and also deviation, so the clues look at the 3x3 above them. So this is a 0, that's empty, 0, it's empty, 1, that's a mine. Now, because of the connected rule, this needs to come out diagonally somewhere. I mean, maybe it doesn't come out that way, because if it was this, then it definitely couldn't come out this way, since it would create a non-rectangular region shape. We got a 1, 3. And okay, yeah, if this was a mine, then because this is a 1, then all these would have to be empty, and then this would be isolated. So that needs to be clear. This is a 1, 2. This 2 C's... It looks like that because if I put 2 mines in that spot, it would overload the 1. Therefore, I need to put a mine here, and then this would also be empty because I know the mine is within one of these 3. So I know there's 1 mine here and then 2 mines here because of this 3 that sees this section and that section. If I were to put a mine here, this would be non-rectangular, and I would need to fix it by making it a rectangle, but then that would overload the 3. So neither here or here are actually mines. This solves the 1. Now this needs to escape. This section needs to diagonally connect. And I think if I made this a rectangle in any way, like, you'd effectively overload the 3 in all cases that you would do that. So therefore the 3 looks like that, and this is not a rectangular shape. We have 3 mines left. It has to look like that. And there we go. This one's going to be a real mess. Horizontal and product. So each mine needs a horizontally adjacent mine. For example, if there was a mine here, there would also need to be one there. Now, this is actually not possible because we have the product, which is the cursed square root one. It looks at the nearest two mines. And so, for example, the diagonally adjacent one is actually square root of 2 away, and the directly adjacent is 1 away. So this would be not possible because the closest two mines of this 2 would then be 1 and the square root of 2, which does not multiply to equal 2. So it can't be there. 2 square root of 2. So that could either be this, because this is exactly 2 square root of 2 away, or it's the square root of 2 here, and then something 2 away. Well, a combination of those two rules. But first of all, it's actually clear the space, the same logic we used earlier on. I think this 2 can no longer be the 2 square root of 2 because those spaces would be square root of 2 times square root of 2, which obviously equals... No, it equals 2. But then that would cause an issue here, I believe. So this is like 1 times square root 5, which is not correct. So we can clear both of these. So now this 2, it needs to be 1 times 2 as the thing that makes it up. And so the 1 can only be made by the thing that's 1 away. And now, because it needs a horizontally adjacent mine, it fills in there. This 2 square root of 2 now only has one other space, which is this one. We needed it to have a horizontally adjacent, so there we go. Oh, I've once again forgotten whether this can have adjacent sharing mines, like if a mine could be in here. I think it can not be here or here, but I don't know if the diagonals count. Oh, okay. Damn it. The reason that can't be is so simple. I've done it so many times. Like, I believe this could also potentially share a diagonally adjacent, which I got tripped up on, but the reason this can't be a mine is because of the horizontally adjacent, because then you couldn't put a horizontally adjacent mine next to it. Square root of 2, that can only be done by this and this. Now, this can't have a mine here because that would make it 1 times 1 as the closest mines, which is not accurate. We got a 2 here, but we already have the diagonal square root of 2 that is adjacent to it, so therefore it can't have any 1s in the multiples, and we know that the other one is some other square root of 2 that is in one of the diagonals. This is a 1, so it needs to be 1 times 1 that makes it up, and let's extend it due to horizontal. Let's open this because it can't contain another horizontal mine. Square root of 2, that's done, and we can open that. Now, this doesn't have any potential to be containing a horizontally adjacent mine, so empty. We have 2 mines left, so we now have group and area. We have already done stuff with area, but group is that each mine region is size 4. So, like, the 4 size region you can see on the right side, and here's a region that is clearly not size 4. And the area tutorial is the same as before. Alright, so this is a 0, so it's adjacent cells, cannot have anything. It's directly adjacent cells, there's another 0, another 0. Alright, there are 12 mines here. Mine counts 12. A lot of suspicious 8s. They might share a region, maybe not. Maybe there's some 4s in here. Actually, yeah, each mine region is size 4, so I know that these 8s are being formed. Size 4, which means all the numbers can only be multiples of 4, okay. Wait, but it's insane that I can even do anything here. If this is a non-mine, then we need to have 2 mines here that make up 2 regions of size 4, but they're going to be forced to connect immediately since this one needs to get out. And then I can't make 8 because this is now the same region. So, there's a mine here. The same is true for this, but I said that these couldn't be shared, right? Because you don't have room. What the hell was I talking about last time? I can fit the region down here. Okay, wow, that was really dumb. I thought that this wasn't possible, like, intuitively, but no, it is. It definitely is. There's just some faraway logic with, like, if this is a mine, because then there's no way for it to connect to a different spot. Like, here would be a region size 5. And of course, it would also be way too much of it connected up here into the shared 2 mines that are already there. So if I had a mine here, it could only look something like this or like this. Actually, it can't look like that because we don't have enough space. Basically, that bottom left would force this configuration, which is already 12 mines, which is way too much. So we still need this to be active, and it's currently not. Like, I need to add 4 more mines here despite already having 12. So this is blank. Which doesn't help, thanks. I guess over here also, if this is a non-mine, then we need a mine here because this obviously can't fit anything. But yet this space is not enough to fit 4 mines. And yet by making this a non-mine, we've prevented the adjacents from having 4 and 4 each, since this would connect the 2. So that's a mine. Now I know this is a mine region now, and can this avoid touching this 8? For example, if I did this, well then this 8 has only 1 place to go. But all mine regions need to have size 4, so that's not allowed. So therefore this does connect. Also, it seems like this square, it's hard to assume this is a mine because where in the heck is this 4 region going to go? It's always going to lock down this into being a 3 size region. So this is not a mine either. Hey, a 0! Okay, very good. We said that every 8 needs to have 2 distinct regions, one of size 4 going here and here, so these do not connect. Okay, we got a 4 right there. This 4 is done already, and there's no more. No, we only have 4 mines. There you go. We're back on the bridge for this next one. So this has a freaking ungodly description, but basically, we have 12 mines. We need to form 2 bridges of 6 mines each, so they can connect horizontally, diagonally. Each of these lines is like 6 mines each, and we also have the double clues. So here we have this 0, 1, which I feel like I can just treat like a 1 for now, because if I have a mine here, notice that it makes all these non-mines, and then suddenly this mine cannot form a bridge, because the bridge needs to go from the left side of the board to the other, and this mine is completely lost. It can't connect from up or down. Okay, that's a 0, 1, and 0, 1 see the same place, so we do that. Another 0, 1. The same logic applies here, because it can't connect here or here. Another 0, 1, and the same. Wow, what the heck is this start? We got a 0, 2. So there's definitely there's a bridge there and a bridge below. So this is a bottleneck for the bridge above, and this is also a bottleneck for the bridge above. Now, I know it's a 0, 2, so the 0 refers to the diagonal, so we can clear that, and the 2 is the direct, so there we go. Then I know that this 0, 1 is referring to that one. Every other cell it's next to it is empty. 0, 0, so they're both empty. 0, 1, I know the mine is here, and must diagonally connect because it can't vertically connect, and there's no extra mine here. So this is how this connects, but I know this is how this connects. This is 0, 1, though. So either this or this is a mine. Which means that this cell is, like, this and this are both empty. Because they know the mine is within here. Oh, but if the mine is down here, then how is this going to connect to the bridge directly? It can't. So the bridge is here. Open this up. This is a 1, 1. I mean, it's both on. And there we go. Every other cell is empty. So this means I've unlocked even more ridiculous combinations, like the past 2 modes combined. I did not want to show another modular liar clip, so here's segment, which is that each row contains one consecutive segment of mines without any breaks, and can we get a CBA right now? Nope, okay, we don't know. So this is area and encrypted, so it would seem to me that all the B's see the same thing, but I don't know if B is 0. So B can't be 0. If B is 0, that means there's a row with 0 mines in it, and that breaks the segment rule. So B is not 0. Because look, it has to be 3, right? Does it? Like, B is not 1, because if it was 1, then we would do that, and then suddenly those would link together in our attempt to extend the B's. But maybe it's possible that it's 2? No, this doesn't look right. B doesn't look like it could be 2 because this one and this one would hit each other. So we do that, and then B is 3. Wait, reset the puzzle. Don't do that yet. What if there's a CB? Okay, wait, no, because this is already 3, and so this has to be empty because it can't extend to more than 3, which means that we are going to have to... I mean, so this already sees 3, so it can't see any more from this. Okay, I really want the CBA to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. 4 mines remain. Yet it's not going to be all in a single region, because the C needs to, like... Wait, maybe it could be in a single region. I mean, like, there has to be a mine here. So C is not 0 or 1. And because B is 3, it's not going to be... Nothing here is going to be a 3 either. So C is either 2 or 4. I think in both of these scenarios, either it's like this, or it's like this. And either scenario, this is a non-mine, so open it. The C's can't be blocked. Now that we know C is positive, we can just mark the mines there. We know they have to exist there. Seriously? Oh, yes, segment. That's why. Wow, this freaking puzzle had nothing of the other letters in it. Amazing. Wait, what? Oh yeah, secondary board. What the? Win a puzzle whose secondary board is not uniquely solvable. Can a liar puzzle do that? Amazing. Wow. Is it even possible to get 1 plus the square root of 2, which is the achievement title, or this, without it being a lie? I mean, I'm not good at math enough to know whether you could get that number legitimately. Like, any number in the form 1 plus irrational. We even got group involved. Well, no, group is about... what the hell? Group is about mine region sizes, so that's... What if modulo was involved? Well, anyway, this is 3 times square root of 5, so it's like somewhere 3 away and square root of 5 away, I think. It's quite a distance. And it could also be the other way around. But at least then we could say that the things around it that are, like, closer than that distance and that distance, so also this distance as well, can be opened. 3 is a very pure number, right? Almost too pure. As in, it can only be made with a distance of 3 and a distance of 1 away. Doesn't that get interrupted, though? Because this thing still needs to see something that is 3 away from it and a knight's move away. In particular, this place will be closer than the 3 in the 1 times 3. That feels wrong, and that makes the 3 look fake. I'm gonna mark it. Yep, okay, that's a lie, good. Now, that thing now could be either a 2, which seems... Well, it can't be the square root of 2. I think it's a 2. Like, a 4 is the same kind of problem. Like, let's say this was actually a 4, then once again, whatever spot would be in here or here by this one would be closer. There's also the situation where it's a 4 and it looks there, but that's missing out on the knight's move that this thing must see. So I believe this 3 is actually a 2, and it looks either like this, which is 2 times 1, or 2 times 1 the other way. This 4 is also doing some nonsense where it could either be 2 and 2, but it could also be the square root of 2 times this 2 times the square root of 2 by being here and here. Actually, because all mine regions are size 4, this would need to extend outwards and break it, so no, that's not going to be the case. So let's just mark that. There we go. Those are correct. And that actually finishes this up, so I can open this. Why is that being highlighted? Is that because this one is closer than here? If so, we should open this too. Oh, great. You don't look real either. Okay, we said this was a... Oh, wait. No. Oh my god, I missed another option. I'm sorry. I missed this thing. I said this was a 2, but I said it could either be like this. Like this, or like this, but I freaking missed 2 options where it could be like that, or that. Freaking insane, I wasn't punished for that, but clearly this needs to extend outwards, so that's how it looks. So now we got this, which is actually the square root of 2. I know that this and this are empty now, because the closest need to be here and here, and by adding that, we would make the closest there and there instead, which would equal 1. We got a reputable square root of 2 now. I don't actually see how the situation gives me anything at all. What? Okay, so there's 12 mines, so clearly we have 3 groups of 4, but isn't this like, this situation is like extremely open-ended, or what? Like, I'm just imagining a scenario here, and things just look incredibly open. I guess this thing is going to cause a lot of non-mines, because each liar here represents a non-mine, since a clue needs to be lined, but I already made some non-mines by going here and here. That surely can't be much of a restriction. I mean, I could do that, and the thing about that looks wrong to me. There is something funny about the bottom, though, in that, like, if I had a mine here, we need to do a zigzag in order for that to not cause a problem, because if I have 3 mines in a row in this section, there's no space for a non-mine liar here. And I hope I hit this button and it lights up both group and liar on the bottom corner. Oh. You're so cursed, group. You really are. So this thing extends in some way that we don't know, yet it will always cause problems if this were a mine, so blah. This 2 cannot be the... It's a 1 times 2. It's not a square root in any way, so open that. This extends out, and 2 is actually done because it sees it's 1 and the 2 already. 2 square root 2. It already sees both this and this. This is the square root of 2, this is the 2. So there's not going to be anything closer. This is a square root of 2, so it's 1, which is over here, times the square root of 2. So open this. Okay, so we know that there's 2 regions of 4, and these mines make up those different regions. Unfortunately, this square root of 2, both of the regions could conceivably contribute to both of the things that the square root of 2 needs. I think this is a suspicious spot, because... Again, we can't have those 3 mines in a row because it would ruin the need for a lying clue here. So you would, like, make that a non-mine in this hypothetical. Yet there's no way for this to ever connect to the top or anything anymore. So it's bad if this is a mine. Like, it can't be, since that would make too many regions. So now we have 2, which we don't know if it's lying. So this is a little weird, because, like, there's a lot of ways to make this bend into the lower region, but this actually makes it awkward. This would absolutely have to be a lie and it to be a 1 at this point if this was true. The thing is, it could also maybe look something like this, and that would be a real 2 in that case. Wait, that's also a problem, because, like, okay, the clue would be real in that it's seeing a 1 and a 2 away. We need a liar somewhere in here, and I didn't get that. This is annoying. I think this is a lie and has to be a 1. But the reasoning is just those 2 things combined. Like, it can't be here and still tell the truth, because then there wouldn't be enough other candidates. Like, this would be the only remaining cell in the column that could be a liar. Or it doesn't go there. This number still definitely needs a 1 somewhere, since it's 1 times 2, if we assume it's telling the truth. But yet, this would then need to connect to the other mine in order to form a 4-size region, which would then create a closer diagonal. So this is no choice but to be a lie. Now, no way this is a 3, is it? Could it be a 3? It would look so ridiculous. I mean, no, because already this is closer, so it's a 1. So 2 or all of these squares are mines. Well, it's not going to be all of them, but... Actually, 2 of them being mines is already a big deal, because that restricts it to either this or this, because otherwise you have too many mines elsewhere. Like, if I do that, where the hell is this going to connect to? So it must be this is a mine, this and this are not. This is definitely lime, because there's no other things in the row. Okay, it's going to be a 1 then, which only has that space to connect to anyway. This already sees a diagonal, so it's also a 1 here. This square root of 2, now that we open up this square, the only possible diagonal left is here. Now this forms a group, and this group, wherever it goes, it could go here, like here, but that group can never reach this square or this square. There's gotta be a 1, so we mark that. Okay, now there's only one way that this group can be made, and this is empty. Man, the locks on this game are so much. I need to complete 20 levels in total to get the final one, and I haven't done this yet. Hashtag, clues may have different rules. Oh no. Screw this, I'm going back to coding my Minesweeper game.